You are listening to the Social Hôtelier Show, a podcast that inspires hoteliers to create meaningful and memorable experiences for their customers in pursuit of their passion. We share our views and experiences relating to hospitality, technological trends, and also relating to humanity. Here is your host, Sam-Erik Ruttmann.
Welcome back to the Social Hôtelier podcast with me, Sam-Erik Ruttmann. How important to you is to have financial freedom, but also live more fulfilled life? These are questions that many of us maybe are losing sleep over, and also we know that we require both, including what is required. But we aim to get the answer to some of these questions in today's episode, including what personal traits and qualities are needed in order to reach these goals that we may have. So today I'm joined by Mukesh Bajaj, the founder of NextZen Accounting and a lead fulfillment coach. With over 20 years of experience, Mukesh has made his mission to help people not only to achieve financial freedom, but also live more fulfilled lives. His journey and focus on guiding businesses, owners, and individuals to move beyond traditional financial goals, using his 7 steps fulfillment system to find a balance between the financial success and personal satisfaction. So with his book, 7 Steps to Fulfill Life, Mukesh brings practical advice and insight that can help anyone looking to control of their financial future while staying true to their purpose. So let's hear from Mukesh about how we can build a path to both financial and personal fulfillment. Welcome, Mukesh, and thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Sam-Erik. I'm really excited. Thank you for the introduction, and thank you for having me.
So for our audience, to get some background, can you tell me how has your personal journey and transformation influenced the development of the 7 steps fulfillment system?
Yes, thank you, Sam. I take you back. I was born in a very small town in India. My dad was a franchisee of a very successful logistics company, and so the money was good. One day, these franchisor siblings had a conflict, and they started to, they thought to shut down the business. And that meant my father, my family had no business, no income that day. My father looked for similar sized businesses, but he couldn't find any. Then one of my uncles then proposed to start their logistics company, their own logistics company, and that's what they did. However, they didn't realize that this new business had more overheads than the previous one. This needed a different mindset, different skill set, and the capital which my dad didn't have. He was running, behind paying wages some months. He had to borrow funds from his friends and relatives to keep the business going. And that pushed my mom into the environment of scarcity and anxiety, which was a reflection of how she was brought up with her 7 sisters in a home. And I couldn't do much that time because I was also working as a lost young man. And then one of my friends encouraged me to come to Australia to study MBA. And that's needless to say that my family had financial challenges, no savings, but they loved me, they supported me, they mortgaged the family home, and here I was in Australia. I completed my accounting, master's in accounting and CPA, and started my own accounting company. And I realized there's 3 main problems in the industry that, the very first one, that small and medium business owners, the high failure rate in their first few years of the business establishment. Number 2, when they get to retirement age, they lack the cash flow and wealth to fund the retirement. Number 3, that accountants will focus more on compliance and reporting rather than helping business owners create fulfilling and profitable business. And fast forward a few years, then I solved these problems for our clients. I was still unfulfilled. I was still feeling lost and stuck even after achieving that success. And I will sign few clients and then and then we'll keep working on the clients, and I lose the sight on our bigger purpose. So there was a conflict within me between my present and future, what I wanted to do. So one day I took a pause and stopped for a moment, and I invited a couple of my team members in a conference room, where we started this conversation, which from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday to Saturday for 3 months in a row. And this was like a most intentional process I've ever been, personally and professionally. And once we came out of that room, we had our value systems. We knew what our core values were. We knew what the path looked like. And since then I started reading hundreds of books, listening to podcasts, and learning through thought leaders around the globe. And I found this word called serving. And that was the aha moment. That got me out of my miserable, empty life. And then, I kept thinking and asking myself, what serving meant for me? Then I realized that my fulfillment is in helping other people get unstuck. Help them guide what they want to achieve in their life. Helping them achieve a fulfilled life.
Very interesting. Now, if we can go back a little bit of what happened in the room when you brought your team to the room, how did you set up? Because this is, of course, someone wants to follow this approach that you did, but just give a few tips how you set the tone for the discussions and what were some key areas that you wanted to have a discussion with your team, because you spent, after all, quite a bit of time together in finding the path.
See, at my end, I didn't have any clue, I didn't have any process, I didn't know what to do. Whereas the system I would share with the audience now, that's kind of a clear path. How I went is we started with a couple of questions on what are we doing here? What do we want to do? Why are we doing what we're doing? So these were the couple of questions how I started. However, when you now for the audience, I have a clear path which I will share that in a 7-step system.
Yeah.
When you go from step 1 to step 7, and in that, you discover your values, you discover your purpose, you discover what do you want to achieve and how you want to achieve. I'll share that how we go.
Good. Yeah. It would be interesting to know that if you can share the defining moment when you realized that the traditional focus on compliance and reporting wasn't enough to truly serve the business owners. I work with accountants. I know how accountants they're providing a picture of the history and the past for you, but now you talk about something else. So share a little bit about that defining moment when you realized that traditional focus of compliance and reporting wasn't just enough to serve those people who need the help the most.
Okay, first of all, I share you that why these two things are important for me. When I looked at my maternal grandfather, he was very, business savvy. He was great in making money. But he wasn't fulfilled because he didn't have a son where he could, pass his business legacy to. And at other end, my father, who was now we are 3 siblings. I've got 1 brother and 1 sister. So we had this family. However, then my father struggled to make money in the business. And when I look at both lives, and I learned that you need both. You need a abundance mindset, you need a fulfilled life, as well as you need the financial freedom. So this is where these two lives, taught me the importance of both things together. And now, if I go back to your question about traditional accounting, when I started this accounting company, and those 3 problems I shared, then I even go 1 step back. When I was studying, I started my career as an engineer, but I wanted to do a CPA in business, but I didn't know. I did what people suggested to me. My friends said this is a good way to go. I went there, and there used to be like a 4 main career choices that time. Like you could go medicine, you become doctor, you become engineer, you took arts, and you become that artist in any form, like whether you choose a sports, whether you choose a specific business on that, or the commerce, business in a way. So these were the four main kind of career choices. And when I used to think, okay, where would people go if they want advice on health? They will go to the doctor. Where will people go if they want help on construction or bridges or architecture? They'll go to the engineer. And where would people go for, like, if they want a very specialist on entertainment advice, music, and they'll go to the artist, right? Painting and all this. And now I was thinking, where will the people go if they want an advice to set up a business, to achieve financial freedom from the business, to achieve fulfillment from the business? And there's no one. There's no one. And this is why my dad struggled his whole life. There was no one who could help these small business owners like my dad to help them achieve financial freedom rather than filing taxes. And that's why I just missed that thing, that I wanted to have that person in my life, or I had to become one, saying that compliance and reporting is not enough. There's more to be done from the accountants, from the CPAs.
Yeah.
And larger organizations have this like a privilege that they have the resources. They can hire full-time CPA, financial controller, and everyone. What about the small and medium businesses who cannot afford a full-time CPA?
So tell me about your first customer who you helped in these both ways. I'm curious about that because it's always an interesting story. You must remember that.
Yeah, and as I started, 12 years ago, I started as again tax accountant, but I was always looking for that, and the business name used to be NextZen Accounting, like accounting redefined. That was the tagline, and I always used to say that this is, what do you want to achieve from the business, and accounting is part of that. And the life and the goals are the primary, and the money is part of that. So my thinking is still was on the same direction where the 7 steps actually transformed. Yeah.
Okay. So how do you help your clients move beyond just the financial goals and into creating a life that aligns with their personal values and purpose, because they are so intertwined together?
See, now, after developing the 7-step system, I share the system with our clients through reading the book, which we already had in different form, and guiding them through that process, that framework. So we go through from step 1 to step 7. In step 2, especially when we talk about the values and purpose, there are 10 elements: the activities, behavior, habits, beliefs, goals, values, character, purpose, principle, and environment. When we discover what is the purpose of life or a business, and then we align all other activities, all other elements towards that purpose. For example, if I want to open up a restaurant, right? Now, if my activities of learning the skill or going to university, if my behavior, my habits, that serving mindset, if those are aligned with the purpose of creating the best restaurant, then there is no conflict. I know I'll be working on weekends. I cannot choose a hospitality business if I do not want to work in weekends, for example. I'm talking here small business restaurant, for example, right? And if I don't want to work during night, I should be working in different industry, for example, as an accounting industry, where you can have Monday to Friday, 9 to 5 kind of a environment. So that's what we talk about when we are choosing a career or a business in step 2. And in step 3, then we go in more deep. What pain would you be, what pain do you have that you want to solve by by starting a business or choosing a career in hospitality, for example? How would it gain you? And in this step 3, we go to, I've shared 30 cells framework, which is 6 kind of a core needs of human, that brand, money, time, skill, health, and experience, across the 5 life circles, which is you as a first life circle, and then family, then your business or employment. 4th is your friends and community. 5th is your spiritual, non-spiritual life circle. And when you combine this whole 30 cells, when you discover, when you find, when you assess what you want to achieve, and that's what we discuss in step 3, then you become clear what you want.
Yeah.
How much money do you want?
Very interesting. I'm just kind of puzzled about what common misconception do people have about financial freedom, and how does your system address these misunderstandings?
See, instead of saying misconception, I would say conditioning. Is it okay?
Sure.
Because the environment outside is that it always keeps conditioning us. That and I'll share a couple that financial freedom is not just the money. When we talk about, and I was looking for this definition, but even about financial freedom, I found this only the investment, shares, how to make money, that kind of a definition, which it didn't align with me. I was looking at, so I wrote it myself. The financial freedom for me is a multifaceted concept. It's beyond monetary wealth. It's when you look at, it's one of the 6th element of those brand, money, time, skill, health, and experience. Because it gives you the vital resource. It opens up doors and opportunities. It helps you create ambitious goals without having those financial limitations. It provides you the, kind of a resources that you can choose people in your life circle whose values and purpose are aligned with you. And with financial freedom, you can also create not only your fulfillment, but also the fulfillment of your loved ones. And when you look at those 5 elements, how this financial freedom supports, like the brand, it helps you to live a life of values and purpose. Stand for what you mean. It helps you to choose where do you want to spend your time with. How would you spend your 168 hours of next 7 days? It helps you to learn the skill from the best university, the coaches, the consultants, the skill you want to learn. It helps you to have the diet with full of nutrition. It helps you to keep the peace of mind. Go learn the meditation. It helps you the experiences that you want to create in your life. Life is all about creating those experiences for yourself and for your loved ones. So when I looked at financial freedom is more than just the money. It's about that thinking, that creating the life you want. And this is a very important resource in today's environment. So this is why I say just not the money alone. It's
this makes this is very, very interesting, because I think the financial freedom seems to be just a limiting factor when you use that word, but in fact it evolves that you have options, all your choices you can make and do, as you mentioned, who you want to deal with and what are the fulfillment that you want in your life, and that gives you the tools to accomplish that. You have talked about these.
And one more.
Yes.
One more.
Of course.
I just share that there, as you asked that how it helps. The 7-step system helps in that. So another conditioning what we have is this, that we think we have to sacrifice happiness for the money, but that's where 7-step system shows you that you don't have to think this way, because in 7-step system in step 3 you find out how much money do you want to create, and then from step 4 to step 7 are where you learn how to then create that money for you without losing your fulfillment, so
Yeah.
that you can achieve both.
What role do you think emotional resilience plays in achieving their financial independence, and how do you incorporate that into your coaching approach?
See, in step 5, where we make promise to each other that this is, like again, if I go back, step 4 is knowing clients win, where we have this new paradigm where every relationship you have it's a client-supplier relationship. And in the step 4, you go deep in asking that question with curiosity and empathy, that how can I solve that problem you have? How can I help you achieve what you want to achieve in that relationship? Be it a relationship of, again, a spouse relationship or parent-kid relationship, or is it a client-supplier relationship in a business world, for example? So then once you understand that with the curiosity and empathy, that what is the win look like, what is the client's win look like, then we propose a solution in step 5, that this is what you want, this is what I want, this is a solution, we can create a win-win for each other. Now, answer to your question that how this resilience play a very this important role, because once you have agreed, once you have committed, now step 6 is all about delivering that with excellence. Step 6 is about now having that, coming up with that solution, and then like the solution you agreed, it's now delivering. It's the show time now. It's showing on time, it's doing the job, it's doing the hard yard. And I mentioned this up front, when you have chosen one path, it doesn't matter which path you choose, the losses will happen, the challenges will come, and roadblocks will show up. And this is the time when you value your integrity and resilience, and you keep going. You keep going to the end and deliver the job with excellence, which I say within time, within budget, within the specification, and provide the fulfilling journey to the client.
Yeah. If you had to pick up one of the 7 steps as the most challenging for people to implement, which would it be, and why is it so?
See, people, including me, we've been doing one step or other, and everyone has their own challenges. And some people are, naturally kind, and they think about other people's way, and they forget their own, and which is my dad. And some people are who focus on their own way, and they forget about other people's way, and they want to win at all cost. And that even includes me when I see myself 20 years ago. And we then create a scarcity mindset with that approach. And some people, when I see, and again, I've been in all situations myself. So sometimes, we just get the task and we just want to deliver without even thinking what the other person needs. And where it means that we're going step 6 straight away. However, what I want to say here is that step 7, from 1 to 7, is the complete solution. It's a one complete journey. And this is where we haven't been practicing this from start to end. And I want to share that message that now let's look at this 7-step process. Start from 1 to 7 in all the journeys, all the projects you do. And it is then, you will see this, it is not challenging at all. It becomes second nature, that you will think this way from start to end, and creating those win-win agreements for everyone, delivering win to the other person, and achieving this long-lasting fulfilling relationships between the other person and yourself. It's that easy.
Yeah. When we're looking at the journey of financial freedom, you have the journey toward fulfillment. Are there 2 separate journeys, or are they all in one? If they're separate, in your view, what differentiates the journey toward financial freedom from journey toward fulfillment, and how are they intertwined in your system?
See, when we look at client and supplier relationship, and we think that that the money only changes hands, but that is not true. we bring like both client and supplier bring 6 elements, all the 6 elements. They bring brand, money, time, skill, health, and experience. Even in this conversation right now, my brand, I want to do good. I want to deliver the message right. I value your audience and you, and this is my brand. And in our case, money is not changed, but still we are providing a service to each other. And time, we are both delivering our time. We're both here. We are both practicing our skill to create this a product or a service for our audience. We are creating something that is a healthy, not a stressful environment for the audience. We're both creating that experience for ourselves and the audience that is fulfilling. And as you see, we have created all 6 in one service to each other. So always there are 6 elements that go together. It's not just the money. So
absolutely.
So
I mean, yeah. Now, looking a little bit ahead, beyond today and next month and next year, how do you foresee the landscape changing for small and medium businesses? Because there are so many developments, and sometimes we don't realize that we expect some quick changes which will not happen. But maybe there's a change that has been going on for quite some time that we don't think about, and then they happen. But just sort of advice to people who are small and medium business owners, how can they prepare better for that future?
See, it has been difficult for small and medium businesses when you look at the business, there are 18 departments, or you can say 6 divisions, and each division can have 3 departments. This is how I construct the business organization chart, for example, for the business owners. Even though when you're a small business, you may have a few activities in each department, but you still have those 18 departments. And like, for example, you still have your executive, the blueprint, legal, and management and leadership department. And then you have kind of HR division, which you have to recruit, train, and employee relationships. Similarly, system, playbooks, SOPs, IT, and maintenance. The 4th one, you can say the growth, where you need to look after the brand, marketing, sales. And in the finance division is your finance, accounting, purchase. So all those things, when you look at this, so much to look after and be best in everything, it has been kind of a challenging for small and medium businesses. But now is the best time in the history that we have this now artificial intelligence. We can use this technology now where our life can be more efficient, and we can structure ourselves, we can ask those answers, and this now, so many apps and technologies help us to help us achieve what we want to achieve, to be clear on what we want to achieve. It makes it easier. Now there is a chance that we can, by using this technology, can scale ourselves, scale our business, so that we can achieve financial freedom and fulfillment faster now. We will have time now.
Very good. Now a very personal question, because you have talked about this 7-step system. But I'm always interested when I meet people at what does the meaning of life mean to you personally, Mukesh?
How I see life is that even I looked at this concept when my father passed away last year. How I see life is like we are born and we'll die. Death is the final milestone of this journey. So I would say that let's choose some milestone. This will help us create a journey, and then live the life and enjoy the journey. Like my aim in life is now actively work with 15,100 people, help them get unstuck, help them create their own financial freedom and a fulfilled life. And I would say you find your own. And I would say to the audience that they find their own, like where their fulfillment lies. and live that life every day. And this is a beautiful life.
Yeah. Curious, why 15,000?
When I looked at 15,000, this number came very thoughtfully and I was thinking, and as I said, actively work with. If I could work with 100 people, it's like I call them fulfillment coaches, and if they choose their own 100, so that makes 10,000. And we also wanted to acknowledge the people in our life circles of those 10,000 people, which is the parents, the friends, the community. And this is why we created this 15,100 people community as a mindset that if we actively work, each of us, like for example, 15,100 mine, similarly those 100 fulfillment coaches, they would have their own 15,100. And this way we'll create a ripple effect that we are committing ourselves, that we are actively available. If you have that question, we are here. I want to share my experience, I want to share my story, I want to hear your story. And this is why just only 15,100, not millions on one end.
Very good. I know you are very active and you have a strong following on Facebook, but I would be interested, for the audience to find out, if people are interested to find out more about your activities, how can they do so, and where would you encourage them to connect with you?
See, the audience can visit my website, mukeshbajaj.com, and they will get a lot of free resources, free guides, courses, a lot of case studies there, as well as if you join me on Facebook, as you said, there are 100,000 people community there, which I keep sharing. I love sharing the stories and keep asking what their stories are. So feel free to join there. And yeah, we all are together in that journey, and this is what I want to do in my whole life. Yeah.
Well, Mukesh, it has been a very interesting conversation, and I was thrilled to learn about your journey and also of how you came about putting together this very interesting and for many people life-changing steps for financial freedom and fulfillment of life. So I appreciate you joining today's episode, and thanks for all the fantastic insight.
Thank you, Sam-Erik. Thank you for having me. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to share what I've experienced. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Social Hôtelier Show. Make sure to visit our website, the Social Hôtelier Show, blueberry.net, where you can subscribe to the show in Apple Podcast, Spotify, Google Play, or via RSS, so you never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we appreciate a rating in Apple Podcast. Or if you simply tell a friend about the show, that will help us out too. Be sure to tune in for our next episode.